How's it going? This is Lloyd shaffeR of Vitriolic Gaming. We are going to be doing a match here against Keyboard Smashers, the last regular season match of the ESEA season on CPL Mill last season. KBS needs to win this to get into playoffs. Kind of an important match for them, as well as us. We are currently the 3rd seed, so we need this to have a chance at 2nd seed. Basically what you're going to see here is we're going to leave all of A open. We're going to play a mid and B stack. What this allows us to do is combine all of our pistols in the same area. Hopefully we can pick a couple people off like that right there, where we just pick Polar off. Basically one of them against 2 or more of us. And that's the idea. And we have another guy here that you can't see on our radar maybe. He's CT spawn, and then we have 2 over at B. So basically there's 3 of us right here in the middle in case we need to retake A. We can throw nades into the site and stop a plant and retake as quick as possible. Also, we can rotate to B very quickly. While I was blind, Daze and Chewbacca got 2 kills over here at B. I got killed at the gate, but I also could tell them that there's another one there, even though they just killed one, because the guy that killed me is still alive and he's there. So that allows for our guys to coordinate and push in together. Pretty simple pistol round. They kind of split everywhere, trying to work for some picks, which is kind of what we figured they would do. Just like the rest of the half, I figured they would do that as well, considering they're like a pug. Not really coordinated strat, just more of based off of skill. Went ahead and bought a FAMAS here. I normally buy an MP5, however, I bought a FAMAS so I could use it on the 4th round possibly. We're just going to play 2 towards Catwalk, which is the area I'm at right now. I'm going to push through. They called bomb over a B, so that's why I pushed through and got Riddick there. I'm going to go ahead and try and bunny hop behind him quick here. But Chewbacca goes ahead and finishes him off. Basically what we do on our normal A setup, we play TCK and myself usually play in A, looking towards Catwalk or Kitty. And then we would play Dazed at B, Chewbacca at B, and Frost in middle. Basically what that does is it allows us to focus our attention on the sides, and then if possible, if we need to in middle, we'll combine on that as well. So as you see, he's playing the flashbox there, and I called that. I heard a couple running up, and he just counter flashed and then peeked. Dude hit a nice 1 shot on me there. But then as you can see, they were low. Frost can come in and toss a nade and got 2 kills. And then Trey's there to back him up. So the setup worked pretty well, aside from myself dying. We know the bomb's probably delaying somewhere, so everyone's just falling back. And Chewie ends up seeing the bomb come out of blue door, which gives us bomb down. Now they have 1 guy left. We just have to figure out exactly where he's at. That's pretty much that. We're moving into first gun round here. I'm going to be opping Kitty. Trey's going to be my rifle backup, TCK. He's pretty much going to be playing around that flash box area that you saw him at last round for a counter flash. Basically, if I need help, he's going to counter flash and peek just to keep them blind. And then also, he's going to be the mid rotator as well if our mid guy dies. Basically, I'm just going to try and bunny hop here, and if they don't happen to flash or anything like that, and they come up and try for a quick pick, and I can get it. If not, I'm just going to fall back here and play a little passive. Now, they threw a couple flashes up, blinded me. I ended up blinding myself as well. But as you can see, I'm pretty much the only one that's holding Kitty. TCK is kind of a rotator over here in my sight. And he died in middle. So now our middle is really weak. And they can split on us. So I'm going to use this smoke a little bit to see through as well as cover my middle. And then I'm going to get a little aggressive here so that I can't get shot from everywhere. And as you can see, it looks pretty clear. So I'm going to go ahead and just stay right here. And I hit 1. And then I'm going to fall back, and I have a feeling that they're going to just split here on us at A. So I'm just going to hold this spot. Miss a couple shots here. Should have been at least 2 kills there instead of none and legging. But our guys rotate accordingly. Daze finishes up a nice 1-on-2 here. And we get that first gun run. Basically, that means that they have to eco. I'm not in the best shape for money, obviously. I've got 34. But the good thing about CT side is one thing a lot of people don't realize is money management. You don't necessarily need armor if it's a gun round. Because an AK is going to kill you in one shot with armor or without it. However, it could be an eco, so I wanted to get armor, so I had someone to drop me. As you can see, it didn't really matter. He came up with a nice 1 deagle on me. And then he gets 1 on TCK as well. So it looks like they're just doing a fast mid catwalk split here. Frost is kind of alone in sight, and it's up to him to make a couple nice shots. And he does. Holds up the sight pretty well. And then Daze comes in. Pretty good reinforcement as well. So that didn't work out how he planned, but it ended up working out. However, my money is still hurting a little bit. What we're going to do here now is basically we had a guy crash. So what we're going to do is I'll go over a little bit on exactly how this is going to work here. He's back in. Basically what happened there was I got there a little late. They also have 2 guys on that team that can bunny hop pretty well. They got there a little early as well. And then he just hit a nice 1 dig on me and then 1 dig on TCK and got up catwalk really quick. It's unfortunate, but there's not really a lot you can do about it. What we could have done to prevent that is possibly play a little more passive. Maybe lead with some counter flashes first, considering we know they have bunny hoppers, which would have been the smart play. That's one thing we were worried about coming into the match. We know that a couple guys on their team, Tor and Polar, are pretty big on bunny hopping. So we knew we were going to have to counter flash a lot of places if we didn't hit a bunny hop in return. So that is something that we have to keep in mind in the rest of the half. I went ahead and bought up a Colt here. Even though we're up right now and we've won every round, you can see our money situation's not too great because they're getting entry kills on us when we are ecoing. That's a big problem. Also, it's a good way to think about it for T side or in the opposing side. If you're on the eco, as many kills as you can get is going to hurt their money situation. I always say this is if the bomb's being planted and you're CT on eco, you want to try and make the bomb blow up as many of the guys that you can. If that happens, they lose their guns, and that's almost a win for you guys, even if you're going to lose. So here we are. We're back in action. Trey and I are over here, just playing normal. We're going to play a little more aggressive because we both have rifles. He's going to play that same flashbox, and then basically he's just going to spot with his ears for me, and I'm just going to nade down. And then I'm going to just go up here and do a little silly boost. But it turns out that it looks like a couple of them are hitting B. We can hear just a little action over here. But Daze actually pushed through and killed him. So that worked out. They pushed aggressive at Banana that round. B Spiral, sorry. And basically came all the way through middle and got a nice flank on over at SA1. Our job was to basically make sure that they didn't rush through. And that worked out pretty well. If we went usually on this map, if we went aggressive on one side, the other side played passive. So as you can see, I still have a rifle. And when we're playing with a rifle, this is pretty much how we play. But we got to call that there's a rush over here. Now see, that hurt us right there is they deagle rush, but they also had an op that sat middle and got us on the rotate. So that was smart on their part. We didn't expect them to have an op on middle because we saw the deagle rush. So that was very smart on their part. We just ran across, not even thinking about having an op on middle, and he got myself and he legged someone else, and then also ended up getting another kill later on in the round. Also, they had a nice 1 dig to open up the round on days. So smart on their part. Good round. Not too much we could do about that. So here we are. We're playing. I'm playing the exact same way I was going to play if I had a rifle. Just going to kind of listen for nades or for footsteps, and then we're going to nade. And that's about it. I mean, we're just playing counter flashes at this point. We're going to flash peek as if it were Inferno mid or Inferno CT side mid. Flash peek a lot. Delay them as much as possible. Interrupt their strats as much as possible. And then we're just going to randomly peek. Trey's got my counter flashes still. I'm up close. It worked out pretty well. One of their guys wasn't blind. The other 2 were pretty blind, and I got 2 kills on them. And we still have control of the site as well over there. TCK's still alive. So that's exactly what we wanted to happen. That's usually what will happen if they only send 3 guys there. Now, if they would have sent 4 there really early, or if they would have sent 4 at that same point, they could have taken control of it pretty quick. But if they do something like that, you'll know that there's no pressure being put anywhere else. So at this point, we're basically just trying to save our guns. We know we've got the round. He's just going to try and get some exit kills. Maybe pump up his stats a little bit. But our money's not exactly comfortable at this point, so we are going to just try and play a little smart here. And now we're going into round 9. It is 7-1. We're still money hurting. Our mid guy's only got 3,300. You'd prefer that guy to have an op if possible. So he's going to get a drop. But that also means that if we lose this round, we should be on an eco. So it's all going to roll back to that money management. As you can see, I bought an op. I didn't buy armor. I'm a strong believer that if they're buying AKs, you don't need it anyway. And if they're saving, they probably have deagles anyway. And one shot's going to kill you with armor or not. The only thing armor really protects against is it does save you a little bit from the nades. So I'm going to play with an op here. I'm just going to get a first shot on somebody. If they happen to have an op that peeks it, I should still get the first shot. So that's basically how I'm going to play it with Trey up close here in case they rush me. But it looks like they're smoking us off. So I'm just going to flash for him, and then he's going to peek. Kind of like what he did for me the last round. And it actually works out. He peeks and gets a kill. But what's happened is we're getting pinched from middle. Our mid guy got smoked off, or whatever the case may be, and we're getting flashed. But we get control of that again, and then we're back up to normal here. They don't have any smokes left, and we're just kind of holding catwalk. Now, I could see a few of them on radar, so I'm going to go ahead and rotate off. I know that their last couple guys are over at B. And that's the run. 8-1. This may look like a blowout. However, this is a heavily CT-sided map, and as you're going to see, this is going to come down to the very last round. So it's really important, especially on a map like Mill, not to get overconfident if you're on CT side. And you're up by a big margin, can easily sway. So you can see we pushed one down mid again. We're going to do that aggressive storage area 2, which is that B spiral area. But they didn't see anyone, so he rotated over to this storage area and actually got killed. So we know that they have a few over here. I'm going to try and jump down and get a pick. And then I'm going to throw a smoke. I do that a lot. I'll throw smokes to kind of delay somebody. And then I just went down, and he just had a good setup. He was already waiting in sewer and just happened to hear me bust out the vent, and I came down right into it. So that was a good setup on their part. I should have went down a little sooner if I had planned on picking sewer. I didn't think they'd actually send one there. They haven't sent one the entire time. So basically, we've got Trey and Frost holding this whole A site, and then we've got Chewbacca over here on the B side. Frost can pretty much watch everything from middle over there, so that's a good thing that he has an op, because he can stay far distance and call for backup. And that's basically what they're going to do here. He's going to run in, try and stop a plant. Polar hits really nice shots there. They did the crab walk on him, which makes it hard for anyone to hit when you're planning and you fake it. But then he hit 2 really nice deagle shots afterwards to win the round. And basically what I've been talking about this whole time just happened. We lost a gun round. Even though we're up 7-1, we have to save. What we're going to do is we're going to have the guys that can buy ops go ahead and buy them. Everyone else is pretty much going to deagle, and we're going to play aggressive. We do this on a lot of maps that we feel that we can get aggressive and have op retakes on. So I'm going to get aggressive here and just kind of find out where I stand. Maybe get him to chase me into that nade. And then Trey's going to sit back here with a flash, just like we do on our gun rounds. No matter what gun you have, if they're blind, you should be able to get the kill. Yeah, I peeked there because of the flash. We threw a flash and I went down to peek. I went a little too far down though. The flash didn't blind anyone down that far. We saw bomb on Kitty. So Day's going to go ahead and push through. And now we've got a little retake here. Basically, they set up a nice crossfire there. What he tried to do was he tried to flash the one guy and make him think that he was going for the other guy so that he would peek, but he didn't peek. They actually played it really smart. They didn't peek and give him a chance to win the round. He tried to isolate one of the two, which is what you should do on any 1-on-2. They just happened to play it smart. If they would have played it just like nonchalantly and would have peeked, he could have headshotted him, and then he'd have known right where the other guy was. So everyone's gonna save here. We're gonna get deagles again, and then we're basically just gonna try and play our spots. We're not gonna do anything aggressive as far as pushing together or saving together. And then I'm just gonna sit sewer here because Glocketeers went sewer like 2 rounds in these past few, so I'm gonna think that he's gonna do it again. They shouldn't think that we're on a save either. But he pre-nades me, which is interesting. And then he hears the nade hit me, obviously, and he's going to flash and kill me. And now I'm blind, and now he peeks and kills me. Yeah. So that was just a case of... he must have just thought that I was going to be sewer, and when his nade hit me, obviously, that's why he threw the flashes. The nade was just a precaution, I guess. But TCK opens up with 2 nice kills early on. Frost actually had a pretty decent flank going there. They just happened to hear him and turn around. So now we're down to both of our guys on catwalk, trying to get these kills. And as you can see, like you could see how he peeked there from that box. It was pretty evident they were going to peek. Now it's just a race against time. He ends up getting it, which is nice. Once again, we win that eco, which is huge. Could be 8-4 right now. they could still have momentum at this point. Getting eco'd right there kind of drops their momentum down. As you see on my screen right there, he typed thanks for the help, the HP call, Carrie, because Carrie told him that the last guy was under 50 health, which means if you have a deagle, under 50 health is one shot. So that's why he said thanks for that. He didn't have to try and scope in with his op, and he knew you only had to hit him one time. That's why he got really aggressive. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and stop this sewer guy. He's went there 3 rounds now, and I want to get a spot up on him, and I want to pick him. They're not working catwalk quick. They're not working anything really that quick without smokes or flashes. But it looks like he's not coming sewer this round, so I fell all the way back. As you can see, they're doing the same thing they've always done. They're going to smoke it out, and then we're going to flash and peek, and the flash went behind him, and I guess it didn't kill him, or blind him, and then he got a kill on TCK. So I'm going to fall back and play a little more passive here. And just kind of wait for him to come up here. That works out. We got a guy that rushed, and then dude was kind of sitting back, baiting a little bit, I guess you could say. So that worked out. The fact that we know that they don't work really quick helped us a lot, because it gave me a chance to go sewer to make sure that no one was coming sewer. We didn't even have to worry about that from that point on, and then we could dedicate all of our attention on middle and catwalk. And I'm going to go do something similar to the exact same thing here. But as you see, the red lights flashing up on the radar here kind of indicates that it's a B or a middle rush. So I'm going to go quick to door here. No one really ever, I would think, expects a rotate from door. So that's why I'm going to kind of do it here. Plus I was already in sewer. We're just kind of looking for them here because they could have went anywhere from this point. We knew they were on a save, so we're trying to figure out exactly if they have guns. It's a nice easy shot I had right there that I missed. As well as that one. It was definitely our round to be had. Even though it came down to a 2-on-2, that round could probably solely go on myself. I missed an easy op shot on the back hall guy, and then that caused me to have to rush my shot on the last guy, which still should have been an easy shot for myself, and I missed. So we're at 10-4 now. Going in last round. We're going back to that setup where I go sewer, just to try and see exactly what's going on. This time if I have a Colt, I'm just kind of spotting it. If he's there, I want him to know that I know he's sewer. And then I'm going to fall back. But Days gets 2 entries, and then he dies, so we know there's at least one more guy there. So we're going to flash push through here and see exactly where this bomb is and if it's trying to delay here. And as you can see, there's one down there. So we're thinking that we've caught their fake. But if you look around, I don't look sewer the rest of this round. That's a benefit of pushing sewer early. You get to see if someone's going to come sewer or if you have to even look at it. If they would have sent a sewer guy there every single round, we would have had to play our setup completely different. So that's maybe something to think about for making T-side strats. I know we don't use the sewer as much as we should either. And you'll see that here in a half. So a pretty good half overall. Lost a couple rounds that we shouldn't have. We lost one eco round, which is definitely a round we shouldn't lose when they're ecoing. But then other than that, we lost a few gun rounds, which were due to a lot of missed shots, mainly by myself on a couple of them. But nonetheless, 11-4 is good, especially if you get pistol. Pistol's a huge round on really, really CT-sided maps. I mean, you could say this map, Nuke, Train, they could all be extremely, extremely CT-sided if played correctly, I guess. Or if neither team has an incredibly strong T-side. So pistol rounds are not only huge normally, they obviously predict the next two rounds, but especially on such a CT heavy-sided map, T-side pistol is huge. Basically what we're going to do here is we're just going to kind of bait out nades. I'm going to come on a hunch here and just kind of work A as much as I can. If I see anyone out here, I'm going to fall back and just draw out nades because we're going to go B with bomb. But they're playing an awkward setup, which means I don't get any resistance here. So I'm just going to keep walking this whole entire time until I spot one. Now I hear one CT spawn shooting, so I know I'm going to have to look here. And I get one there, and now I know I've been spotted. I'm going to try and move a little quicker. I get another kill there as well. Now we know the other two guys are here, which means they're probably sewer, since they let me walk all the way through A. That's a fourth kill. Now I need this kill right here to win this pistol round for my team. This is huge. Ends up being an ace on my part, which is I was pretty impressed by it. It just worked out when pretty well because of their strat that they were running CT side. I'm not exactly sure what they were accomplishing, but I think they were playing a retake on A, but they didn't even spot A, which was what really hurt them in the end. But anyways, we know they're going to push, so we're just going to kind of play passive, let them push into our bigger guns, and go from there. But they give us a call from B saying let's go B, so we're going to rotate over here, bring the bomb. I'm going to kind of just follow exactly where these MP5s want to go. I'd like to let them lead a rush if possible. As you can see, we're basically just hunting them down at this point. We don't want to turn our backs to anything and then happen to get shot in the back. So we are just trying to find exactly where they're at. So we're starting off 13-4. We should have one more eco round. They could buy here to try and change the tone up a little bit, but if they don't, we should be okay. We're going to do exactly what we planned to do last round. We're basically going to sit back, let them push into us, and then put our AKs and our Galils to work over the USPs. Now, that was definitely something I always preach and I knew not to do there. When you're in combat, you never pull out a nade for any circumstances, because that's the exact thing that's going to happen to you. And I was thinking the one kill, I knew I hurt him really bad. However, if I was doing the opposite way, I would have done the exact same thing. I would have kept peeking, thinking he was going to nade. You never pull out your nade in a combat situation because it's only going to end with you dying. even if your nade goes off, that means that they fell back far enough to get out of range of the nade. So something to live and learn from. I always yell at my teammates for doing it, and I would expect them to yell at me. So that's basically it on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and op up, and basically we're just going to try and pick them off here. We don't have any thorough strats as far as this map goes. We just like to pick and roll. I knew he was going to be somewhere spawned. He just happened to peek me and kill me before I got a chance to recognize where he was at. So from this point, we're still doing the same thing. We're just trying to work picks. Important thing to notice here is B's actually clear if we can just manage to get up there. But unfortunately, they rotated in time to catch it.
Thanks for the big long hallway or some dumb pub shit. Or is it a bad idea?
So as you can see, our money's really low here. We're basically going to try and do what they did to us on the eco round that they won. We're just going to rush up B. Hope we hit a nice 1 dig and get the site and get planted before anything happens. I'm going to sit back here and wait for a quick rotate, which we figured they would probably do on an eco round. But we didn't make our way through B at all. So they're not going to rotate. They know we're falling back. So at this point, we're just trying to wait for a fallout from a rush here and see what we can work with. I'm going to go try and throw a fake over here today. Maybe see if I can get one that's pushed up. But he gets pushed over there with the bomb. And I know from this point, I'm basically just a target. They know I'm nowhere near the bomb. I'm sure they've got it covered. And I'm just going to try and get a quick burst or something here. I did 30 to 4. 30 and 4 to that guy, by the way. Burst Glock long range, not so good. Basically, we're going to go ahead and AK up here. We thought with the last gun round that we noticed a small weakness in their middle and possibly get an A split. So we sent a guy sewer. And then we're basically going to try and bust out with an A split of some sort here. But as I mean, they're playing really, really passive, which is not what we would expect. But they're playing similar to how we played at CT side and counter flash picking. So it's kind of what we expected. Gonna try and work back up here and see if I can get a kill. That's the third flash they've used, so we got a quick 2 kills here to turn around the round, and we're gonna try and the bomb's still down on our side. I mean, we still have control of bomb. We just picked it up. I'm gonna try and smoke off the site here. Maybe we can work this site guy alone. He's obviously spamming from the CT spawn box or something like that. We're going to try and isolate this site guy if there's still one site and see if we can go from there. The problem with this is they could be flanking us right now, or they could just be stacked waiting for us. I'm not sure why Carey ran over there like that, to be honest with you. I was almost positive there was one in sight. So And then basically the time was just my enemy there. As soon as I came unblind, there was 8 seconds left. I had to plant the bomb with 2 of them alive. It takes 3 seconds to plant, so didn't get it down in time. And then it looks like we're going to save here again, possibly save up for ops. We did our dues on CT side. We've got a couple of rounds to spare. We want to get ourselves money situated. We're just going to rush up mid here. We noticed that Riddick plays kind of passive, and that helps us get up middle. But Glocketeer is actually not worried about Catwalk at all. If we would have split middle and Catwalk there, we probably could have had that round, because Riddick played really passive and scared in CT spawn, which meant we could get up middle, and I got up middle and actually killed one of their A guys before getting any resistance. And now we're going to go back to basically doing the exact same thing we've been doing. We're going to try and get picks on these guys. We feel that if we've got ops, we can outpick just about anyone in the game. And that's what we're going to try and do here. We feel we have some of the stronger entry ops. And that's what we're going to try and use. The problem with it is Riddick actually picks Dave's middle on this round. So now we're man down, and our op middle kind of left us, and I'm supposed to work Catwalk, which means they don't have an op to cover them middle. So I'm going to work up Catwalk here by myself, which could be rough, because if they flash me and peek me, I'm in trouble. So I called over one of my teammates, and we're just going to fall back, and I'm going to try and see if I can pick him in CT spawn, and then maybe work over to B. Chewy runs up mid to try and get an entry kill to draw some attention off. He gets one, but then I die over here at B.
Where did Frank go?
Riddick got the luckiest shot. There was like a straight up smoke down.
And as you can see, we kind of noticed that their A sides are strong sides, so we're going to try and hit B a little more this half. See if we can work some picks over there. Looks like Tor is kind of playing it with a quick rotator. So we think that Tor and Doob. And all those smokes middle kind of let us know that something's up. So maybe a quick flank here. However, I'm just blind rushing here, and I actually make it up. So it works out, and we're just getting deagle kills here a lot. We could have got another one if we weren't so blind. They threw some nice counter flashes, which kept us blind for quite a while. But either way, it came down to a one-on-one here. And didn't go in our favor, obviously. But it came down to a one-on-one on an eco, which is excellent by any means. So we're okay with that. Basically, we're going to try and exploit the fact that we know that their B is weaker. If we just took it with deagles, we shouldn't have a problem taking it later on in the round with AKs. So we're going to remember to come back to that. And then instead of me working Catwalk, I'm going to kind of work over here to B. I'm just kind of waiting for him to pick here. Looks like they're just playing passive with Colts, probably up in CPL house. But Riddick, the guy that's been playing middle the entire half, all of a sudden is playing B, which is beyond our reasoning on why he was doing that. But that's what killed us there. So now it's getting close here. It's 14-11. We're not exactly in the clear yet. They need this map to make it to playoffs. So we know that they're not going to give up. They're not going to roll over, and we didn't expect them to. So that's where we're at right now. Is we're thinking we're just going to deagle, try and get our money up, and get a couple rounds here going. We're not really getting anything going as far as entry kill-wise. We're letting them get the best of us right now. And we think that they started stacking B ever since that eco, so we're going to try and work this mid catwalk split. One is in sewer, obviously. You saw that flash come out a little bit. We got a nice kill there. But the problem is we didn't clear this site. When we got up mid, what our original plan was is to get up middle and have that right side of mid smoked off and then turn left. And if that would have happened, we could have sandwiched that whole site the way it should have been. But either we didn't get our smokes off or they weren't good enough or whatever the case may be. So now we're... this is a big round for us because we're going to have to save if we don't get it. Because we've got ops and whatnot right now. So we're going to attempt to do something similar to what we just did, but actually do it correctly. But they've thrown a lot of smokes, and we're going to wait for them to run out at this point. And if you do that, if you wait for them to run out completely, it may give you a chance. Oh, wow. As you can see there, he peeked out and killed me as I was looking up at the guy boosted. Very, 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 very bad timing. I was unlucky a little bit as well. But Carry and TCK get a couple entries here.
He shouldn't have jumped in grass. He always just plays with it. I said walk. Does it every round.
And it turns into a 2-on-1 and we end up losing it. So it's 14-13. We need to win this round, or we need to save and win the next two. And basically, we decide that we don't really have enough to buy completely, so we're going to buy Deagles, and then a couple people are going to buy AKs as well. And then from that point, basically what happened there was they had that guy boosted up, and I went to shoot at him and got shot from somewhere else. And then we just slowly got picked up. We're not getting the picks, and like I said, CT side, they never came sewer, so we didn't have to worry about sewer, which is they're not having to worry about sewer at all. So that's kind of what we're doing now, is we want to exploit that, make them actually look at sewer. So now Glocktier spotted at least two of us down here. We know they have to watch both the door and the actual sewer. So we're going to try and go door here quick because he got the guy that's actually watching the door, which was Tor. But then we also have a guy in mid or spiral. Just kind of getting them on the rotate as well.
You're him on his right.
So another round is very, very, very winnable. 14-14 now. If we don't win this round, we know it's going to go into overtime at best, or we could lose it. So from 11-4 to 14-14 is quite the turnaround. So we know we need this round. But instead of opping, I'm going to go ahead and AK because I'm anticipating that we're going to win this round. And I'm going to be able to buy next round and possibly drop someone. So that's why I AK instead of op. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work that sewer. We're going to have Carry go down here with this op and try and pick Glocketeer, who was picking it last time with a rifle. So if we can get that pick, we know we can be a man up. And there'll be a man down as far as CT holds. And maybe get him to over-rotate. And he dropped down there. I'm not exactly sure why he dropped down. Maybe it was an accident. But he dropped down right into where I had just made noise. So it was very surprising. But exactly what we wanted to happen just happened. Now I'm in sewer. I can flash out for my team. They're a man down. They have to watch sewer. The best things could happen. Right now I'm going to flash the site. Well, I'm attempting to flash the site. And then we just hit it from all angles. As you saw a guy come up mid, you saw two people go catwalk, and then I came out sewer. It's almost impossible to stop if you get that entry kill. If you get that entry kill, that means that they only have one, maybe two guys in A, and you're hitting it from all three sides. Like I said, that's the sewers, I believe, is the most underrated part of Mill. And if they're worked correctly, I think it could be the key to a T's success. And we should have used it a lot more. Obviously, I can say that now after watching the demo and actually playing the match. So we're going to do the exact same thing. If he's going to keep peeking, we're going to try and kill him. Dave's picks Riddick in middle. Great help because we know that they can't have an opper just sitting in spawn picking us off as we come up catwalk or mid now. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to fake what we were doing before. I'm going to walk all the way to sewers and then go blue door. Make them think that we're going to go B. I mean, right now they're thinking that we're doing the exact same thing as last round. They're probably over-rotating to it. But when in doubt, I'm coming out blue door, which is going to be quite the change. We've got our bomb coming up spiral. So we caught him on a rotate. The strat work, I mean, the idea behind the strat work is perfect. Obviously, it wasn't the starting strat for it, but it worked out great because he got that pick middle. And we've spotted their last two. You can see on the radar there's one under bridge room, plus I see the one in CT spawn. And then I get the last kill there. We win 16-14. Once again, thanks for watching. Vitriolic versus KBS. CPL Mill. Thanks.